So we're going to do a shape on his beard, including his moustache. We're going to taper the edge off and we're just going to finish it with a blade. Okay, so the things that you need to be looking out for during the session are contraindications, critical influencing factors. Contraindications stop you from carrying out a service. A critical influencing factor is something that affects the way that you're actually going to work. So growth patterns, colours, beards, and just the general length and shape that the guy's actually got, the natural shape that's there. Okay, so the plan is I'm going to go through and show you a tapered beard. Frank's grown this especially for us, so it has to come off today because he's doing his head in. Okay, what I'm going to do is, because I'm going to actually go through a correct process with you as well. I cut his hair a couple of weeks ago, so obviously there's lots of things that we need to be looking at. So if I'm going to go through it theory-wise, you have to do for your theory, for your practical assessment, you have a tapered beard, a full beard line, moustache and eyebrows. So I can cover 2, maybe 3 of those things today. What I'm going to show you as well is, which is the thing that I'm not really supposed to show you, but I know that you're all advanced enough to be able to deal with it. I'm actually going to shape him up properly with a blade, soap and bristles, just so that you understand the process and how different it actually is to just going over it and finishing it. So when he's finished, he'll look like, it'll be very, very smart, very clean. Okay?
Is the moustache covered in the beard?
No, your moustache is a standalone moustache. Okay, I'll go through all of that as I start to work through it, because there's some areas that when you're doing facial hair you've got to be very, very careful of, because you're working around someone's nose, and that this piece here and the lip is very, very sensitive. Okay, and the clippers can get worn if you're working with the detailers, and secondly, it is a really, really fine piece of skin, and you've got to be very, very careful that you don't catch it, because we don't want to hurt him and cause any reason for infection to come in. Okay, so what sort of things do you think I'd be looking for?
Warts, moles, if you don't want to chop it off.
What would I do if we did find something like that?
Go around it.
So is it a contra or a critical influencing factor? Critical influencing factor, well done. What else would I be looking for?
Skin tags.
Skin?
Tags.
Skin tags, yeah, definitely skin tags. Let's go for other things now, come on.
Growth patterns.
Growth patterns. Men have growth patterns in their beard just as much as they would have in their hair, if not more. You'll get guys who can't fill a beard because they don't get any facial hair growing down here. Frank's beard is very, very deep. Now obviously once I start a consultation I'm going to ask him where we're taking that to, because some guys like to bring it right up. If we're going to do that, that would be then classed as a full beard outline. If we were going to leave all of this, it would be tapered because I'd taper it up. Yeah, does that make sense? So it's all about what your client's requirements are. It's about clarification, confirmation of what they want, okay? So let's get going with our consultation, shall we? So first, what's the first thing that I'm going to do before I start doing the consultation? Go right back to basics and think about what we're going to do.
Wash your hands.
I've already washed my hands are washed. I am going to, in a minute, go through my normal OCD ritual in a minute. Okay. So I'm going to gown him up. He needs to be gowned up in a specific way when you're doing facial hair. Yeah, I'm going to gown him up. I'm not going to go neck roll because this was washed last night, in case it's nice and clean.
Archie stuck it up his nose, didn't he?
Eh?
Archie.
Yeah, it all got cleaned last night, okay? So I'm going to gown him up without neck roll, which I shouldn't do, but I'm going to do because I know everything's clean. The other thing that you need to do when you're doing facial hair, I'm obviously going to recline him, which I'll show you how to do. Obviously you need to work out what height your client needs to be for you. Remember?
Do you recline before you do the consultation?
No, not until I do my consultation, because at the moment I'm obviously looking and I'm talking through you. Now I can see he's got a very, very dense beard underneath here. You can actually see it's exactly the same as your hair. You're looking for light and dark. Lightness tells us what? It's less. It's what's the correct terminology for it?
Shorter.
No. Think of the forest.
Sparse.
Sparse. It's sparser. So this is very dense, isn't it? So there's more density within that hair. Facial hair grows on average 1.25 centimetres a month, just like your hair. However, if you all want to be bored to death, and I can show you a PowerPoint that I've done this week for a demonstration next week, it's actually been proven in a Darwinian theory thing that's just been done that guys their beards depend on the growth of where they are and what they're doing. Man was put on a desert island for 4 weeks. They measured his beard growth for those 4 weeks. 3 days before he knew he was going back into civilization, his beard stopped growing. And they say it's all because of what goes on in our psyche and stuff, so it's quite interesting. Okay, so what sort of shape are you looking to have?
I think I'll have a tapered in. I don't want a
You want to
clean
taper?
line,
Okay,
so just
yeah.
taper in.
How far do you want me to taper it up? About under your chin there,
Yes,
do you think?
yeah, yes.
Okay, is that alright?
Yep.
This shape at the sides, what we're looking at, do you want me to shape it so it's really quite tight and clean?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Right, there's not too many growth patterns in there actually. There's one that comes down from his sideburn. Obviously that's something else that you really need to think about when you're working with a guy who's got a facial hair and hair. If you're doing a haircut and facial hair at the same time, it has to blend, it has to flow. It's very, very easy if you've done a haircut to put a line in a beard. If you put a line in a beard, you will struggle to get it out because it's very, very coarse hair. It's different to the hair on your head, obviously. It's a different type of hair. So I'm going to clean this all up, make it really nice and clean. I shall bring it down and clean all this up as well, so all of this will be gone. Okay. So it's only a couple of weeks since he had his hair cut, so his hair's not due to be cut yet. There's some different colours in his beard. What do you think is the strongest colour that comes through in beard growth? Ginger. How many guys do you see with ginger beards? It's very, very strong. Do you know why that is? Come on, you're hairdressers. What's in our hair?
Think about why it's called?
Why it's red. Why is red the strongest colour that comes through? It's the strongest melanin. Out of the colours that come through, red is the strongest one. That's why you can get kids who've got parents with dark hair and all of a sudden they get red hair. It's because their parents carry a lot of the red colouring pigment in their hair. Okay, so I'm going to gain him up. He's comfortable. I'm going to make all this different for him in a minute. Something else that you need to be very, very aware of when you're doing facial hair is that we actually put damp iPads, and not iPads like Apple iPads, obviously, damp cotton wool pads onto their eyes. Now you must do this when you're doing an assessment. As we go through it, you'll understand why. But why do you think? Just guessing. Yeah, because it's absolutely razor sharp. You get a piece of this hair in your eye, in your skin, it will embed very, very quickly, and it hurts. So it's for your client's comfort, for your comfort, but you will know about it if you do. And what's really interesting is as you start to work and they start to flick up, you'll actually see them landing onto the cotton wool pad, so that's not going in your client's eyes. Keep it clean as you go in, we'll obviously keep working as I go in. And that's about all, I think. Tash, are we just shaping that underneath line up your Tash?
Yes.
Are you going to grow it to a twiddly one?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, that's disappointing. Okay, so I'll show you when I get there. When I get into this stuff, you're going to have to get up and get in and watch because it is really intricate and delicate. Probably going to use my detailers and guides from the detailers on most of this to take it in. That's the question I haven't asked, not to Julie. How much are we actually taking off?
I kind of want it short, tidy.
So it's nice and tight?
Nice and tight.
Yeah, okay. So the same process as with your clippers. They've all been soaking in here overnight. You get little tiny attachments for your detailers that are just like your clippers. They're all marked up with... They're all going to fall out. They're all marked up with how much, what length they're going to take off. So you've got, I think there's a 0.5, a 1 and a 1.5. Yeah, so I've got a half, 1.5 and a 1. So I've got all three there. Exactly the same process. When you start doing this, when you're not feeling that confident, just like I showed you with your hair last week, just run that clipper guide up through the beard and it'll show you how much is going to come off. That's quite a long one. So I'm going to go down. I'm going to start with a 1 and we'll check and see if Frank's happy with that. We can always take it shorter. That should be okay, but we'll have a look. Okay, so here goes the OCD ritual, ladies. Why am I doing that?
So he knows you're clean.
So he knows I'm clean. Tells him that everything in front of him tells him that I'm very, very conscious of the fact that I don't want to cross-infect, cross-contaminate. And it's when you get into facial hair, you've got to be very, very careful because this is when damage can be done if you don't do it properly. Okay. tiny saw comb out, so you need your little tiny MC comb, the one that bends. Why do you think we're going to use this one? Because it bends. It does that. I think one of these days I'm going to do that and it's going to break, and Nick's always doing it. Okay. Just like hair, it should be shampooed, conditioned and moisturised to beard. My son spends a fortune on beard and stuff, shampoo and oils, because he's got one of these big beards, and the only way to create these really big beards that are really in fashion at the moment is to beard oil them when they're clean and shampooed. It's hair, it needs to be clean, and don't forget there's skin under here, and if you're not cleaning your beard, what aren't you doing to the facial hair? It's the skin underneath it. You're not cleaning it, and the challenge is when people take their beards off, they have a lot of very big open pores, because obviously there's been nothing to protect it, so you've got to be very careful. Okay, I'm just going to comb it down just like I would use a tiny end of a little comb. Just all the time checking for which way it grows, how it grows. It's got a lovely growth pattern here, ladies. Look at that one. Curls back up on itself. Now, so it's got a little curl underneath, so I have to be aware of that when I'm working. Okay, so I'm ready to go now. Get your client just to lean just a little bit forward for me. This is really important when you do this, that he's comfortable, that you're comfortable. So put the headrest up where you think it's going to be. Chair drops down. Just stay behind me. You've got to make sure that he's absolutely comfortable, and so are you. Okay, come back to me now. Okay, a good guide for this is that his shoulders are now sitting clean on the back of that chair, and his head is central. Are you comfortable there? Yep. I'm going to make you grow now, okay? This is where your muscles come in, ladies, so get to the gym. Why are you laughing? This is when it can be quite embarrassing as a girl. Honestly, it's what you have to get over. Because you really are in somebody's personal space when you're doing this. Hence, smell fabulous here, as usual. I need to go to the gym, legs are hurting now. What sort of height do you think we need to have him at? I need to be so I'm comfortably working, because you're going to be doing a lot of stretching, so he's not quite where I need him to be yet. Okay. Yep. Obviously lock and load the chair, because the last thing that you want to happen while you're doing this is for him to start swinging around, because you're going to put quite a lot of force into what you're doing. Okay, so that's locked and loaded. That's not going to move now until I'm ready to move it. Okay, so I'm going to start with a one attachment. They just click on, they fit on, and we're going to go through the same. Oh no, we're not, because what have I forgotten to do? What have I not done? I just told you about 5 minutes ago. I've not put any iPads on yet. Okay, so the knives, they're not really wet. Best thing to do is for your client to close his eyes and relax. Nice, so just put your eyes too. And just put those iPads down onto his eyes. They're not going to fall off. If you've got him in the right position, they're not going to fall off. If you've got him too high up, they will fall off, because obviously he's almost horizontal now. Frank is usually horizontal, but you know. Okay. So I've cleaned up, I've sprayed up, I'm all ready to go. Which way do you think I'm going to start working? Pardon? No, I'm actually going to work up with it to start with, because I want to fade it up into that. If I was to go downwards, I probably wouldn't get quite a tight fade. Oh no, I'm not going to start there. There's two ways you could do this, because I'm not going to put a really hard line in his beard. If I was putting a full beard, and I would actually physically do, I'll show you how to do it. I'd actually go in. Okay, you ready for me to start now?